wanted to do a power ranking in my league after week 7. Let's get into it. The first tier to me is pretty clear. It's Sky Gary and Kawhi Leonard's laugh. I think Dr. Waba is he does have the same record as Kawhi Leonard's laugh, but I think Kawhi Leonard's laugh is a little bit better than Wabai's team. I'll get into each team. The first tier, obviously Sky Gary. They keep winning. The only loss is against me, and it's due to a stat correction. Should have been a tie, and he just picked up Derek White, so he. I mean, Derek White is pretty much perfect on his team because he need those rebound. He should grab you higher rebounds, but these four steals he at least I think he can get you a steal a game. 1.5 blocks, maybe that's a bit high, but he can average a block as a point guard. That's why Derek White is so good. Is he can give you those blocks. Blocks is the in category leagues is the most valuable category. So, across his team, like I said, he probably has the most rebound. I don't see any Capella this year just bowling out, averaging 15 rebounds. I think Capella is gonna fall off a bit, but he can average 12 rebounds, no problem, right? And Jokic, he got the number one guy in the league. I expect Jokic's assist and steal numbers to dip a little bit, but maybe more blocks, right? The rest of the line looks fine, and such a good field goal anchor. He's also got a lot of assists. But if Jokic cools down, I think the couple of teams in the league has more assists than him. He has the most steals probably. Although I do expect OG, I'm keeping my eye on OG's steal numbers. He got hurt. After he comes back, maybe he won't average 2.1. We will see. While Jrue Holiday also doubting he can average 1.9. He's also kind of old. But regardless to say, he's got Ben Simmons. And I think Bam's steal number should be higher. I don't know why. What's up with... He's shooting 85% from the free throw line, Bam. So, I mean, if Bam can continue to shoot like this, his free throw is not that bad. Like, play against some other big man team, he might just win free throws. Because he's got Bam and Jokic. He also got a lot of blocks, right? That's why, I mean... blocks, I think there were a couple of teams in the league could, potentially have more blocks than him, in my opinion. But now he's got Derek White, so even more scarier. So the biggest thing is that I don't really think on his team there is one block specialist. I mean, it's like he can give you 3 blocks or 2.5. Right, Capella 2.4, I think that's for sure it's going to fall off. So I thought his block is probably one of his weakest stat. Oh, why am I clicking my team? And the next tier is Kawhi. Not the next tier. The other team in tier 1 is Kawhi Leonard's laugh. Why is he in tier 1? So, if you have Miles Turner, if you drafted Miles Turner in the 7th round, 77, and he's giving you first round value, your team is at worst is probably tier 2, in my opinion, unless you drafted really bad or you got hit with some injuries. He's doing it without Karl Anthony Towns. So when Karl Anthony Towns is back, right, he could definitely challenge. He just needs to get a little bit more blocks, I think. He's got Richaun Holmes. So he get if he gets a little bit more blocks, especially in the playoffs, right? You just drop all those guys. Like Miles Turner is equal to two or three block specialists. So just drop guys like Melo, right? Josh Richardson, Will Barton, Kelly Oubre Jr. Just open up 4 spots and just grab rebounds. I think he probably has more blocks than Scat Garrett, to be honest. If he just drop the droppable guys. So I'm also pretty high on this team. And I also got Kawhi Leonard, which is just being really scary, playing back-to-backs. I don't know if he's going to do that all season. Right? So just really nice draft. And Richaun Holmes is a top 30 guy. Also a really, really big field. Again, drafted this guy at 9th round and giving you top 30, 35 value. So just really well drafted. And DeMar DeRozan is the same thing. Just drafts really well and don't think he picked up anybody. And Mike Conley, forgot to mention that. Mike Conley is also very, very good, top 50 value. He did get hurt, so I'm a little bit concerned. Pulled his hamstring. So that's the injury bothered him last year. So that's tier 1. Tier 2 is Walkby's team. I think, and yeah, tier 2, I'll put 3 teams in tier 2. Walkby, YP, B-More, Team Baltimore, and Horky's team. Walkby, why is he only tier 2 and not tier 1? Is I think when he plays, the first 2 teams, I think he's gonna probably struggle. First Sky Garrett's team, like the categories, Walkby just cannot win at the moment. Maybe he could make another pickups, and against Kawhi Leonard's lab just more efficient, right? More efficient because first 2 picks are Karl Anthony Towns and Kawhi Leonard, and more blocks, and probably more steals. I don't know. Steals might be close. I do worry about Karl Anthony Towns, because Timberwolves, they are basically tanking at this point. Is he gonna miss more games? I think whenever he plays, he's gonna play very, very hard. With all the things he's been go through, he doesn't really care. Whenever he plays, he's gonna put up big numbers. But I just worry maybe Timberwolves gonna hold him out for whatever reason. They're doing it with D'Lo, so we'll see. Walkby's team, it's true efficiency wise, he's got a bunch of guys that can really throw him, like D'Angelo Russell. And Zach LaVine, don't think he's going to shoot 51%. It's gotta come down a bit. And LaMelo Ball. So his efficiency is good, but maybe not as good as guys like Sky Garrett. Right? Maybe not against it. And free throw, he's got Andre Drummond, a bunch of other guys. So I think currently the 2 guys that are overperforming, Zach LaVine and Joel Embiid. I believe both guys going to fall off a little bit. Maybe they will stay at the level, but in my opinion, they will fall off. And Andre Drummond is not looking good for him. So LaMelo Ball has room to grow. And Tyrese Halliburton. Why Walkby's team is so good this year? Because he picked up, other than the Harden trade that he did, right? Tyrese Halliburton, he basically picked him up he drafted him at 100. Oh no, never mind. Liam drafted him. So yeah, he just picked up a top 50 guy, and DeAndre Hunter has been giving him top 50 value as well, even though he's hurt at the moment. I also think Hunter is shooting 51 and 88%. He has never been that guy. Right? There's some anomalies, some players overperforming, but against some shit teams, he should make the playoffs easy, top 2, top 3. But once he gets to the 2nd or 3rd round, he might struggle against the top tier, the best teams. And YP's team is also in this range. He just keeps winning, right? His team, okay. Another reason I'm not too high on this team, because most of his players have been overperforming, in my opinion. Julius Randle, and he's overall somewhat healthy, in my opinion, I think, compared to other teams. Well, health is obviously another big thing, right? Health, and a lot of teams got hit with COVID. So a record may not truly show how good a team is. I think YP team is good for sure. Has a lot of points, has a lot of assists. Has decent rebound, but not a lot. But his 2 efficiencies are not so good. Does he have a field goal anchor? That is not going to lose value in short term. He's got 1 field goal guy, and that's Steven Adams. So his field goal is not very good. His free throw is also not very good. He doesn't really have an anchor. Yeah, he does not have a free throw anchor. Malcolm Brogdon, 90% cool, but on 3 attempts. Devin Booker is supposed to be a free throw anchor, but he shot the free throw pretty horribly so far this year. Brandon Ingram, yeah, maybe his best free throw guy. And his threes is okay. And obviously he doesn't have a lot of steals, and he doesn't have a lot of blocks either, and a lot of turnovers. So against like below average teams, sure, YP can win. It's the same thing with Walkby. I think just playing some bad teams, sure, but playing elite teams, you was just gonna struggle hard. Also in this range is Worky's team in tier two. Yeah, Worky's team talk about this. Just lack some scoring. Otherwise, it's fine. You know, he worried about Paul George a little bit with his injury, and Paul George is obviously shooting incredibly at the moment. So same thing with Jalen Brown. I think both guys probably gonna fall off, and Fred VanVleet also gonna fall off, averaging zero point 0.7 blocks. But not that Worky's team need his blocks, but just saying as a player, Fred VanVleet, I expect him to cool off a little bit. And after his 52-point explosion, he's only averaging 20 points. So that's just like I don't know if he can average 20. That's a question I have. Can he average 20? After scoring 54, he's only averaging 20. Yeah, so there's some questions marks here, and Trae Young, just maybe not the Trae Young last year, and just not giving him the steals. You know, Worky's team really need those steals. And okay, Marcus Smart is hurt, and I think he just lost Larry Nance Jr. as well, a big steals guy. So guard team, I talked about this. Guard team, you basically you want to win threes, assists, and points, right? And then you want to get a bunch of free throw anchors, because free throw is a pretty high variance category in my opinion. Points, threes, assists, not so much. But free throw and steals for Worky also pretty high variance. So, you know, Worky's team. That's Worky's team for your tier 2. Tier 3, I would put my team in tier 3 as well, and Nate's team, Daniel's team. So tier 3 got quite a few few teams. I think this league this year is pretty, like everybody's got a chance to beat anybody except the top maybe tier teams. Like even at the bottom, team Patel and King Sheep I think they got decent teams. Maybe just unlucky things happening because their top two players are pretty good. I know Kim Sheep's got AD and Kyrie, and Team Patel's got KD and Jimmy Butler. They're both, you know, those players are good. Leaders in tier 3, why he was tier 1 not too long ago because Chris Boucher just fell off. You know, Chris Boucher, if he plays like top 20, and also Jared Allen got traded. So those guys are both basically top 30 players, and because of trade or because of the minutes up and down, they are like more like a top 70, 80 guy. So that's a pretty big hit on this team, right? Because they were giving him good rebound, good blocks, basically help him lock down those two categories every week. Now, not so much. I still think Leaders King can move, like has potential to grow. Michael Porter Jr. and Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges, as bad as he played in 9 categories, he's still like a top 50 guy. He's he's 54th. But because his turnover is so low and he's averaging 0.6 steals, I just don't know how you can go from a 1.5 steals guy to 0.6. 1.1 block is fine. It's good. The rest of the line looks good. But if he gets 1.6 steals, which he's very capable of, in my opinion, he's a top 30 guy, probably top 35. So he has room to grow. And obviously Michael Porter Jr., with the minutes being so low past week, once he starts playing 30 minutes, he'll be a top 40 guy, I think, easily. So those two guys are kind of underperforming. So you get a bunch of guys underperforming, honestly. You know, Luka Doncic, okay. You know, maybe not overperforming, playing up to his standard. So I think this team has a lot of potential. You know, out of every team in the league, he probably has a lot of players just, you know, waiting to be freed. And some players are underperforming due to various reasons. And Lian's team is also in tier 3. The problem with Lian's team, it's you know, he also has a guard team with decent rebound because he's got Vucevic, Al Horford, and John Collins, but he's not gonna win rebound versus majority of the teams, in my opinion. But if he drops like guys like D Rose and Goran Dragic and Emmanuel Quickley, maybe he can. If he wants a boost in rebound, but I still think of him as a guard team, right? Low field goal, but really good free throw. The problem is, as a guard team, he doesn't really have the assist, and he doesn't really have the steals. So that's just kind of weird in a weird way. Usually, guard team use strong in assists and steals, but assist-wise, he's got Damian Lillard, and that's it, right? It's and steals not so much. Bradley Beal just one guy. Ricky Rubio is average 1.3. Obviously, CJ McCollum is out, but when CJ McCollum comes back, CJ doesn't really give you the assists and steals. Although he's averaging 5 assists and 1.3 steal, but I don't think he's gonna average that number. Probably 4 assists and maybe 1 steal at best. So this team has some, like, if he plays Sky Gary, it's game over, seriously. But versus some other teams, it's just a team build difference. Like, he's not gonna beat him in field goal, not gonna beat him in rebounds, not beat him in assists, not beating him in steals or blocks. So Leon, if you listen, just don't play Sky Garrett. Don't play him. And then my team is also in tier 3. I think me and Leader had a really, really close one. I lost the free throw by 2.2% or something. Should have benched Russell Westbrook on Sunday, but I was worried that I might lose points. Anyways, my team, it's also a guard team. With decent like I have the, I guess, potential to get some rebound, because rebound is easy to find on the waiver wire. So, if I want to get some rebound, sure. And my team is really strong in assist. I think I got Harden and Westbrook, 2 pretty big assist guys. And now I got TJ McConnell, just my 3rd highest assist guy. So my assist is solid, and my steals is decent. Maybe not the best in the league, but should pick up. It's the main thing is, like, can my Russell Westbrook and James Harden start to get me steals? Over the years, they are 1.7, 1.8. This year, Russell is averaging 0.8 steals. That's just really, really low. But if those guys start getting me steals, I'll be good, right? My points, it's fine. Like, I got Curry, Harden this year, actually, not so much. But I got a bunch of guys who can score me some points, and my threes is also fine. My free throw should be good, but I think I lost free throws 2 weeks in a row now. So because free throw is a pretty high variance category in my opinion. But I think I should make the playoffs. And Daniel's team, Nate Robinson, knockout, he has definitely picked it up. I think, did he pick up back-to-back wins? Yes. I think he beat me 2 weeks ago, and he beat Horky last week. So this teammate is on the rise in tier 3, I believe. It's just simply all his guys coming back and playing well. I don't really like his team build, but like everybody on his team is performing. You could make an argument that maybe you can drop Seth Curry. Like, Seth Curry is his worst player, maybe RJ Barrett as well. But all those guys are valuable. Eric Gordon, sure, he's giving you 18 points, right? Just individually, these guys are contributing, but put the whole team as a whole, I don't know. I think his blocks is pretty strong, and his steals is okay. Actually, not that strong. He had decent points, but obviously lot of weaknesses. If he drafted somebody other than Jamal Murray in 2nd round, his team will be, I think, pretty scary. And he always drafted Giannis, but it's hard. Like, if I would have taken Harden at number 1, this is just being a weird year. Harden and AD both, Harden got to a new team. That's understandable. AD underperforming is definitely interesting. And the last 3 teams in this is Will, Team Patel, and Kingship. They're in the last year. I think at the moment they're probably gonna miss the playoffs. Will's team, he's pounding free throw. I was pretty high on this team, but LeBron just not giving you the defense this year. Putting up, the rest of the stat line looks fine. Zion Williamson has been huge. So Will's team, field goal points, he's got those, but after that, a little bit decent rebound. But the other categories are pretty weak in my opinion. He's got LeBron James. LeBron James' assist is pretty wasted on this team because nobody else can really give him the assist. Not able to pick up wings, and George Hill is on. Probably want to put him in the IR. or he picked up DiVincenzo. If DiVincenzo give him steals, maybe can help him. Just gotta pick up some wins. I think he lost 5 straight, so that's pretty bad. And Vinicius' team, I think this team is on the rise. He lost barely to YP. I think this team should also be in tier 3. We'll see if he can pick up some wins. Like the bottom, like everybody's pretty close, so everybody's still in it. Just need to pick up some wins. This team, KD is some weird stuff going on with KD. If KD played, maybe he won last week. Let me just take a look at the matchup. 5-4. If KD played, maybe he win free throw. Yeah, but that's about the only category he could have won. YP was pretty strong. 42 steals again, YP. Who's getting the steal? Yeah, Thaddeus Young. Yeah, YP won last week because he picked up Thaddeus Young. Thaddeus Young, top 50 player. If Thaddeus Young is on Vinicius' team, that's a win for him. But Thaddeus Young definitely has short-term value the next month or so. Next month, maybe not short-term, but really good value in the next, getting you those steals. This team, Chris Paul also been playing well. He's got DeMarcus Cousins. Yeah, he will pop off with Wood getting injured, and Ernest Cantor, a double-double machine. Yeah, I think his team probably has the most rebound in the league. He can definitely challenge Sky Gary in the rebound department, in my opinion. So I don't think Sky Gary wants to see him. Like if he somehow makes it in the playoff number 8 versus first, he also got a lot of blocks as well. If you just get rid of Gary Trent, Dennis Schroeder, Duncan Robinson, pick up a bunch of big guys, he can definitely challenge Sky Gary. But for now, just gotta pick up some wins. And King Sheep still only has one win. Lost to Kawhi Leonard's last. Sure, yeah, that's a good team right there. He's just got too many injuries going on. Actually, not too many. Really, just Christian Wood. Kyrie missed a game, but consider Kyrie Irving. I'll be happy with Kyrie's production this year so far. To be honest, he missed a couple games, but whenever he played, he's averaging 0.8 blocks. That's a bit high. Steals could be better, but no problem. Whenever Kyrie's playing, he's top 10 player. Even with Harden there, no problem. And AD has been underperforming, sure. His Kemba Walker is back. He got some nice players. Robert Covington is also on the rise. I would honestly drop Nurkic because Sheep's got to pick up some wins. Drop Nurkic, put Christian Wood in the wire. Even when Nurkic does come back, I just don't think he has that high of upside. We will see, but he needs to pick up some wins this week. Again, it's a very crucial week for King Sheep. If he loses, maybe he's out of the playoff. 1-7 will be really tough. He's got to win 5 or 6 in a row. We'll see. That's it for the power ranking. I'll see you guys later.